This is the Abarth 600e Scorpionissima. It's the first all-electric hot hatch from the Italian brand, and well, it's pretty different. If you are a long-time viewer of the EV Power channel, and you should be, you will know that we've already reviewed this car, the Abarth 600e Scorpionissima. Actually, you can watch the review up there. See? Click it. Really helps us in the algorithm. So in that video, you'll know that we took this around a track and we had a lot of fun. I got a sweat on and proved that I'm no Marcus Gronholm. But this is a bit of a different video, you see, because instead of spending a couple of hours with the Purple Emperor himself, I've had it for a week. So what the point of this video is really, is not me driving around a track screaming and hollering and hooting, is to find out, can we, or can you, live with this car as a daily? What we're going to do in this video is we are going to break it down into sections instead of what we normally do. So to begin with, handling. What does the Abarth 600e Scorpionissima drive like? Well, good is the answer. Like the Alfa Romeo Junior Veloce, which we reviewed recently, video up there, this is built on the same platform. It has the same 54 even kilowatt-hour battery, the same Tours and limited slip differential, and so it's good fun. It's a bit harder than the Alfa, and you're encouraged to drive spiritedly. Like any ICE hot hatch, you know, the likes of the Toyota GR Yaris, the VW Golf GTI, blah, 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 blah. Range is an issue. You're not going to be doing big miles, and this is exactly the same. So in the real world, not WLTP, it has a range of 207 miles from the 54 kilowatt-hour battery. But that 54 kilowatt-hour battery, I do have a problem with, and don't worry, I'm not Stellantis bashing, I'm doing real talk. I've found that when you charge it up, at top end, it drains very quickly. In the middle, it's fine. And then when you get towards the tail end of it as well, then it gets really thirsty too. So if you do want to do miles, you can. You know, I've done 490 or so of them this week, and it's all been comfortable. It's not missed a beat or anything. But you are still going to have to charge if you're doing, if you're doing some motorway trips. On the other hand, however, if you're not doing motorway trips and you are in the People's Republic of Yorkshire, or the Peak District, or anywhere nice that's not in the south of England, and you're not going far and you want a fun electric hot hatch, that's your boy. Practicality. Well, there's this bin down here which says Mind the Scorpion on this sort of iPad-esque cover. There is, what I found quite difficult though, is that there's the USB-C charger down here. There's a normal USB charger down here, but it's hidden really quite far back. So if you open this initially, you can't see it. There's supposedly wireless charging, but I've not sampled that because I like to keep my phone plugged in when using Apple CarPlay. That's another thing, Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You have an adjustable armrest here, which is good on long journeys. You've got another, oh, that's quite deep, storage space here. There's no Comedy Stellantis switchgear either, actually. But you do have this gear selector borrowed from the Jeep Avenger, along with the HVAC system as well, which I think, it's definitely the same in the Alfa, if memory serves. But it's all fine, it's actually better, it feels better screwed together than the Alfa Romeo, the sister car. I don't know why or what, but the plastics aren't as scratchy or rattly, so it is nice. It certainly feels pretty solid. I can't knock that. The other thing as well is that inside here, it feels a lot airier than the Alfa. It's just a bit brighter, which is nice. So yeah, it's a pleasant place to be, and I do really, really like the two-spoke steering wheel. That really does encourage you to drive in full compliance with the law and speed limits. It's just nice. And the Alcantara's not giving me a blister either. And then there's this sort of yellow marker to keep you in the centre, which, if you are like me, you love rallying and just makes you feel like an absolute hero. In terms of comfort, it is surprisingly comfortable. like the Alfa. I thought that these Seatbelt seats, again, keeping it all local, keeping it all Italian, I thought they were going to be really, really not particularly pleasant on a long journey, but you know, I'm wrong. They are really quite cosy, and they look great as well, I think, because you've got this sort of scorpion pattern here, you've got the yellow stitching, which according to Abarth reflects electrification, and more scorpions here. There's one on the top of the rest. So yeah, it's all very comfortable, and they feel a really quality item, so I'm a fan of that. What I will say though is that with these seats, if you are obese, you might have a bit of a problem. And also for elderly and infirm relatives, this might not be the best and most comfortable option because it is quite firm. Oh, this isn't very nice. No, I'm sorry. I mean, there is like not much rear leg room here at all. You know, it's no secret I'm not a particularly tall person, but I mean, no. But if you do want to distract yourself from the fact that you are folded up like a deck chair, there is a USB-C port to plug your phone or your tablet in or whatever to, you know, take your mind off things. You definitely couldn't fit 3 adults in here. Or one very fat adult, actually. Yeah, that would be struggling, but there is ISOFIX if you want to put a child in the back. With the rear seats up, the Abarth 600e Scorpionissima has a boot capacity of 360 litres. And to be honest with you, I've found this when I've been shopping during the week, that this is more than enough for daily tasks. Fold them down and that grows to 1,231 litres. To remind you that you are in an all-electric hot hatch, Abarth has put these electric Scorpions all around the car, which I think they look really, really quite cool. So there's one here, one here. Oh, don't forget matching brake calipers as well, just to really, really remind you that this is a performance version. Back to the Scorpions. There is another Scorpion on the Abarth logo here, another Scorpion there, and another one here, along with 2 other Scorpions on the rear wheels. But that's not all. This isn't just aesthetic, because inside it's got a bit of a party trick to it. Now, it's becoming more prevalent in the EV world, if you've been keeping an eye on things, and do keep an eye on things by subscribing to our channel. Thank you. That sound generators in EVs are becoming a thing. There's the Hyundai Ioniq 5N, which sounds like a 4-cylinder turbo. It's simulated noise. The Alfa Romeo Junior Veloce, that has its own sound. It's not, it's not a Busso V6, of course it's not, but it has this sort of really nice wail that kicks in at higher end speeds. I believe Cupra has made its own sound as well for the Tavascan. And Abarth has done the same thing. So here, if you click sound generator, this will sound like, I believe it sounds like a Boxer engine, which is one of the greatest sounds, I believe, in the automotive world. So here we go. So it's got this nice burble. Sounds cool, doesn't it? Let me know what you think in the comments. But something else to touch on is, I mentioned the Ioniq 5N earlier, which is a glorious car. So in addition to the simulated sound, that has built-in simulated gear shifts. If you haven't watched our review of it, click there. So that has simulated gear shifts, so you can go up the gears, down the gears, blah, 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 blah. That's fine. This, however, doesn't. So I was concerned that it sounds like a drone. Like, it starts droning on like a CVT gearbox sort of does, but it doesn't. On that trip down south that I did, just to remind you again that I drove a total of 492 miles in this over the course of 2 days, and it doesn't. It just sort of sits in the background, like burbling along nicely. So it's not intrusive at all. So don't think it's this sort of horrible whine that you'll be subjected to. Abarth 600e Scorpionissima, pros and cons. Pros, number 1, well, it looks fantastic and subtle, like how I'm dressed today. Number 2, it's an absolute hoot to drive. Genuinely one of the funnest cars of the year. Pro number 3 is the handling, because it is genuinely good fun. Like on the drive here, in the People's Republic of Yorkshire, there's these really, really nice twisty roads, and that limited slip differential and the 280 brake horsepower even, it really, really made me feel like a bit of a rally driver. I was overcome by the spirit of Marcus Gronholm on those roads. Now, I'm not sure whether this is a pro or a con, but Abarth has only made 1,956 of these to reflect the year that the company was founded, 1956. So if you want one, you might be a bit hard pressed. On the other hand, that does bring some serious exclusivity. Cons. We've already touched on the range, and it is an issue if you are looking for a family car, which again, don't buy one as a family car, but if you want to, the range, it's just not great. Number 2, general space. It's not as, how can I say? What would estate agents say? It's not as compact and bijou as its sister car, the Alfa, inside, but it's a bit tight. Con number 3 is the price. Now, at £39,875,000, the 600e Scorpionissima does come under the government's new expensive car supplement, which is a tax on EVs over 40 grand. So, well done to Abarth for doing that and sticking it to the man. However, it is still quite expensive. So, yeah, it's up to you what you want to do, it's your money. Since I've had the 600e Scorpionissima, I've been asked who it's really for, and I think that's a really good question. As we've seen, it's not really a family car, but it is a bit too compromised in terms of range, practicality to really sort of transport any more than 2 people, or 2 people comfortably anyway. Who else could it be for? Well, it could be for hot hatch enthusiasts who, you know, they want an electric car with all the fun that this comes with, and the Larry colours and the electric Scorpions and this, that and the other, and you want to get stuck in on roads like around here in Yorkshire. I would say it's very much a heart over head purchase, to be honest with you, because it is compromised, but it is very likeable. So if you just want something fun for the weekends, or, you know, short trips, this, that and the other, then by all means, you know, do look into it. I can really highly recommend it when it comes to miles per gallon, or, well, per kilowatt hour, you know what I mean. And then the final people who it's for is people who dress like this. Subtle people, refined, tasteful people. Final thoughts then. Well, I certainly do not mind the Scorpion, as is written there. Could I live with it? Well, I don't have kids and I don't particularly travel far unless it's for work, and that's not every day I do it. So yeah, I certainly could. I certainly could, and I don't think I'd get bored of, you know, driving sensibly and accordingly with the law. But if you are looking for a hot family car, there are other EV options out there, because the range on this, it will do your head in. I can guarantee that completely. So, you know, have a look around. Similar performance, 280 brake horsepower. It might not be as engaging to drive, but you are trading that off for practicality. So have a look around, see what falls under the new EV discount from the government, and yeah, and have a look on the second-hand market as well for used EVs of a similar spec, this, that and the other, because you can find some real bargains out there.